So Billie Ray Brandt apparently just got married. She told everybody in her audience, and she's made a new video on YouTube talking about how she quit the whole sphere apparently. So let's watch it. Mouth agape, we're gonna hit play.
I built a following of over 1 million people by saying what most people thought, but were too scared to say out loud. And then I basically threw it all away. I started on TikTok, and if you get to the end of this video, you'll understand why that's important. I was doing commentary on dating, culture, modern relationships, stuff that really hit a nerve. It was blunt, a little sarcastic, and completely uncensored, which meant a lot of people loved it, and others absolutely hated it. A perfect recipe for views. I showed
She's still doing the like engagement though, so it's just like a fake quit. Also, the title for this is "Did I Make the Dating Crisis Worse?" So again, kind of begging the question. I've been criticizing her for like 2 years at this point. Kind of hard to believe, actually. But I will tell you that her face looks a little chopped. Again, I'm not for low. No, I am. Okay, but anyway, the point being is that just cutting to the chase, she's kind of looking like that girl Anna Frey or whatever, Anna Fry, the one that looks like Brock Purdy, but like old, like her mom, basically, which is tough because Billy is, I think, only 27. Like, she's just a baby. I'm 22. I'm about to die. So, like, at this point, it's like the wall kind of came up sooner. Maybe that's why she actually got married, so that, like, by the time the husband noticed, it'd be too late. We don't know.
up every day, sometimes twice a day, for years. But then I completely lost myself and my sanity. So if you wondered where I went, what I've been doing, or why I stopped showing up, this is the full story. I always thought burnout was something that happened to really weak-minded people. The same people that make their mental illness their identity. I was proud of my thick skin. I read every single comment, every DM, every email, every Reddit post. I watched.
She saw my videos. No, but she literally, like, she did confront me at America Fest like 2 years ago or 1 year ago, and it was fantastic. It was awesome. It was kind of like it did the exact opposite of what she wanted it to do. Where like somebody more normal would have been like, "Oh, I'm hurting this girl's feelings. I should stop." It's like, actually, this is brilliant. It's working. It's work. And like, I'm not trying to be like, she could attack me. I don't fucking care, right? That's fair game. That being said, I just enjoy. Maybe I'm a little gossipy, right? I'm a little metro, but that's fine because this is funny to me, and she has thick skin. So let's see how that plays out.
Every hate video about myself for years, and I thought I was bulletproof. Spoiler, I wasn't. Around a year ago,
Aw.
I hit a wall. My health stopped
I mean, that's a little foreshadowing I just made there, and I didn't even see the video. That's crazy. The Wall, no Pink Floyd.
improving. My motivation tanked. I couldn't think clearly. I couldn't create. I literally felt like my brain was short-circuiting every time I opened my phone. And I realized
That's crazy because she couldn't even work her brain, even though her content's already just regurgitating what a man has said prior to her doing that. So it's kind of like saying, I'm so out of it that I can't even copy the answers on this test. It's like, dude, you got to be fucking toasted. Wow.
I had become everything I swore I wouldn't. My worth was completely tied to my following. I started not just reading, but believing the worst things people said about me. And I
Based?
kept trying to
You're
push
welcome.
through, but it got to the
I'm
point
right about
where
you.
I couldn't even form a long sentence, let alone
Aw.
make a long form video. My
Aw.
vocabulary consisted of 15-second rage bait and overused manosphere talking points. That's it. At one point, I caught myself
I wonder how her dirty talk is with her husband. Okay, that's kind of is that a little too far? But like, just imagine 15-second rage bait. This is why men suck today, and it's like, oh my god, what the?
thinking, the world can't actually be this bad. Dating can't be this bad. Women can't be this bad. So I started asking questions. I started digging. And what I found honestly shocked me. I polled over 20,000 viewers and realized a huge portion of my comment section was being driven by autistic men. And before anyone
No, what? What? Dude, this girl's like Oppenheimer. What the hell? No, wait, you're telling me that like that a pretty girl's following is driven by autistic incels. Oh, no way. That's insane, dude. I could have never wow, really. She had to pull 20,000 people to figure that out. What that's something.
that this isn't a dig. It's just an observation. And it was something I needed to understand because suddenly it became clear that my comment section wasn't just average men's opinions. It was very specific experiences, amplified and repeated endlessly, that I wasn't seeing when I looked around and talked to men in my own city and community. And that's when it hit me. I was letting a tiny subset of voices completely skew my view of the world. I thought my platform was the dose of reality that average viewers needed, when in reality, I was trapped in an echo chamber making content for anyone
She's a
but
victim.
the average viewer. And once I saw it in my own content, I started seeing it everywhere. Creators I used to resonate with were just rage farming, mindlessly reacting to content, just feeding the
How did you
dopamine
not
drip
notice that
that their
earlier?
loudest viewers were hooked on. Podcasts that said they were helping men were really just making them more bitter. No real solutions, just endless doom and anger. And I started wondering, had I done the same? And that was a hard pill to swallow. I've always wanted to help men, but I might have just been feeding the same empty void, filling a hole with hot takes and quick dopamine, not actual clarity or growth. So
Bruh.
I pulled way back. I started reading, which if you know me, you know I hate reading. I picked up The Anxious
Okay.
Generation, which was actually recommended to me by an ex-follower, and everything started to make sense. Why
Okay, what's a little bad, and I'm really reaching here, but it's true. Watch, is that she's citing like random people on the internet, whether it be for her problems, whether it be for her stimulus, as to like to provoke her to read, basic things that we all do. I hope, but no mentions of the boyfriend slash husband now, which is interesting. You'd think, oh, my husband, he's let's say a little more, he's a little older, a lot more wise, told me X, Y, and Z. Maybe he said, hey. I have a vague understanding of Andrew Tate. You're just copying whatever the hell he's saying. He must have never said that because it must have never occurred to him, or he's just lying. Interesting. I would have come up with that. I have said that before. And I'm what, 22? A baby. And I'll let you know. When it comes down to Billie, again, I think she's playing dumb to a large degree because there's no fucking way she hasn't noticed all these trends, despite doing this for years at this point, maybe 3.
we're so angry, why we're so addicted to negativity, and why platforms are built to push negativity. Why so many people are walking around emotionally fried and unable to communicate. I started talking to people off of the internet, real people, strangers, friends, people who don't consume 10 hours of content a day, and I realized they weren't that angry. Granted, a bit frustrated, but they weren't that hopeless. They weren't debating gender roles and the dating crisis over coffee. They were just living. And the more I stepped back, the more I actually started to live again. And then somewhere in the middle of all of that, Dan proposed. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel the urge to post it anywhere, to my public or private platforms. I didn't want to tell anyone except the people I talked to in real life. I just wanted to protect it. I wanted to enjoy the moment without random strangers projecting their trauma into my DMs or commenting, "He doesn't actually love you," while I was literally engaged. I've gotten so many comments over the years telling me I shouldn't speak on relationships because he'll never marry you. I read one of those yesterday.
Wow. So you see, so interesting, right? So her victim narrative is that other people are casting aspersions and doubt on her, saying he'd never marry you, you're a hoe or whatever. And then her humble brag is that he did marry me. Actually, he's committed to me at the hip. I have half of his money, which honestly, I don't know who's making the money in that relationship. I don't care to ask. But the point is, though, is that she's seeing herself as like this is interesting because from my point of view, if I had to guess, she probably finds her husband kind of boring and sexually underwhelming. And so her getting married is kind of like, oh, I'm late 20s, all right, fuck it, this is as good as it gets. Whereas it's actually the opposite. Her self-esteem and self-worth is so bad that she's actually kind of bragging that he committed to her finally after years of whatever, which is very telling. Again, I can only imagine what it's like if they're watching this together right now. It'd be so awkward. I wish I had a GoPro in their living room. Just imagine how cathartic that'd be.
While wearing my ring. And in a way, it was poetic because it just proved what I've been trying to say. You don't know someone's real life, especially online. You may think you do, but you don't. We treat influencers like gods the second they go viral. Like their life is the standard for what's right and what's wrong. When in reality,
Oh, she found me out. Yeah, I have a Billie Rae Brandt shrine in the closet right there. Holy.
it's just content. It's a highlight reel and a performance. We celebrate every new trad wife on the market, only to then cast her out the moment she's not trad enough. We roast the OnlyFans girls
So?
on panel podcasts and conveniently ignore the managers and media companies behind the scenes pulling the strings.
Whoa. What you mean by that? Whoa, buddy. Whoa. Yo, Billy's about to name something.
These girls are being treated like Build-A-Bears, dressed up, mic'd up, and told what to say to drive engagement and sales. And
Oh yeah, the girls are victims. All these vacuous hoes. Oh yeah. Oh, they have a mic on them. Like literally, the guys on the podcast. They must feel like Care Bears. This is like an assembly line. Okay. Chattel podcast slavery is what she's basically positing. The whatever podcast is being insane.
the subject of those influencer trad wives, I've been to the events. I've seen it. I've watched trad wives give purity speeches in the afternoon and then hook up with a random guy she just met that same night. It's
Name them what? Tell me. Billy, let's have a cocktail and let's talk about this. I'm interested. This is interesting. Who? Um, I'm just wondering, like, what type of person she could be talking about because I know about the Lauren Southers and all that. Yeah, okay, fine. But she's saying like specifically like these like trad people that are like a step above the right wing influencer bracket. That's interesting.
All curated. It's all content. But we still internalize it like it's the truth. We compare ourselves to it, judge others by it, and measure our own relationships by it. So, no, you don't know someone's real life, especially online. And you never will if you're only watching the performance. So, I know what you're thinking. Why even come back? Well, because I haven't given up.
Have you guys kind of noticed that her nose is a little off center? I called her stupid for not noticing trends and patterns that she's been doing in her job for years. And me doing this on and off for a while, I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed to point this out, but like her nose is off center. That's interesting.
I still believe men are the backbone of society and need to be respected as such. I still believe feminism needs to be dismantled. I also think that women have a ton of new problems of their own that also need to be addressed and
Like what?
sympathized with. And I believe that compassion between the sexes is the only way we can ever let romance come back.
Oh my God. Does she think she sounds smart when she says that sort of like, no crap.
We can progress without constant anger and rage. You do not need more content telling you that you're doomed. You need hope, especially if you're hopeless. And I'm ready to help again, just not in the old way. I'm done chasing virality. I'm done letting angry comment sections control my message. I want to speak to the men and women who are actually listening, the ones who want more from life than bitterness and
She's
black
the
pill talking
Lulu.
points. And honestly, a lot of that clarity came from watching my fiance. Some of you might remember
Okay. Just a prediction. Maybe her financial situation is safe now that she's milked all of the incels in the internet enough, and or maybe the husband has money, and so she's like, actually, screw this playing to the algorithm. Now I'm just gonna be talking my truth, which women do this thing where it's like I'm gonna run a flower shop that's not even profitable, but I'm doing something as a woman, that sort of thing. So maybe that's what she's going for, a cottage industry of her own liking.
Dan had a bit of an online presence for a while, but unlike me, he figured it out very early. He saw where it was all headed, the outrage bait, the echo chambers, the way people start performing instead of actually growing. So he stepped away. And instead of trying to change the internet, he decided to talk to those who were actually listening. He created a private brotherhood that meets once a week. Real conversations.
Oh my fucking God. No. Well, these people are so weird, man. It's like the Harry Styles movie where they're like in this like simulation and it's like this like proto like trad 50s America, but it's like all fucked up underneath. Or like the movie Vivarium. I mean, there's a lot of examples where it's like, yeah, my husband, I love my husband, and yeah, he has a male's brotherhood fight club type thing. Like what? That's strange, man. They're overcompensating to say the least.
He decided to talk to those who were actually listening. He created a private brotherhood that meets once a week.
They're like the Assassin's Creed, the Billie Rae Assassin's Creed. The Templars. They call themselves the Templars.
Conversations, real accountability, no comment section, no clout, no algorithm. And I've watched him
Yeah,
make
no clout, no clout. I believe that.
more impact in those quiet, consistent circles than most creators ever do with a million
Quiet.
views.
Imagine hanging around other men like your friends, and it's just quiet. I could just imagine a bunch of like beer guts and like bald dudes, just like, uh huh, like, what? Quiet. Yeah, it's lit in here. Oh, what do you mean? It's quiet.
Shifted something in me. It reminded me that helping people isn't always loud. Sometimes the most meaningful work comes when no one's watching. And now I finally
Bro, you would have been an amazing second grade teacher for little girls. Okay, wow. And the fable of the story is
feel ready to do both. There was this part in the anxious generation that stuck with me. It said YouTube was the only social media platform that actually had a positive effect on mental health. And honestly, that made a lot of sense. Out of all of the platforms, it is the one that actually encourages longer attention spans.
I'm on
not
YouTube,
just
true.
hot takes,
You're
filters, and
welcome.
algorithm chasing BS. There's so much I want to talk about here. The rise of trad wives, lesbians becoming straight, the Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook groups, it's all overdue. So if you're tired of the noise and looking for truth, you're in the right place. So
This is like your end of speech, like stump sentence or something. It's like Bill Clinton. Incels, I feel your pain. I feel the woes of this economy. Damn.
thank you guys for sticking around, for watching me grow, and for being a part of this next chapter.
Aw.
I guess I have to say this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring
Oh,
that
of course. Yeah, it always comes back to the plant. Oh shit, here we go again. Farming the engagement. Oh my god.
notification bell so you're sure to catch my next upload. And I really, really miss you.
So you're saying there's a chance. All kidding aside, What did I think about that video? I think that was kind of cathartic. Kind of shows that I was right about everything. This is what, like the eighth video on what's her name? Haley? No, Billie, right? Uh, Fantastic. Vindicated again award. I gotta say, like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Comment down below what your thoughts are on this, like this Dalla quitting slash relaunch, rebrand sort of thing she's going for. Do we love reboots when it comes to movies? And do we love them even more in the form of YouTube content? I don't even know what the hell I'm asking. Anyways, rambling aside, I'll see y'all in the next one. Adios.